What is up, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Dakota Franson, Specialist of the Strange. It's time we start getting into turning your material, your content, your identity into a brand. Why? It's quite frankly, people tend to respond when they feel that you're being the most genuine version of yourself. So, what we're going to do today is simple. We have a little slideshow for you. So, these are just some general notes. When we get to certain points in the slide, what I'm actually going to do is going to try to show you some of the suggestions here, so that way you can get a much better idea of what you may want to accomplish with your content, being whatever the case may be. Like it says here, it is best to format your show, regardless of whatever format you decide, in a way that best shows your knowledge and personality. What is your niche? What's the show going to be about? Simple enough, right? Are you going to want to stick to just one topic? Or are you going to want to shake things up every now and then? That's perfectly okay. Whatever you want to do. Once you have an idea of the things you want to talk about, you should try to come up with a name. Something that helps with identify what your show is about, the dynamic of the show, and overall, something that'll stick in people's heads. Well, you may be wondering, well, Dakota, how did Bonkers come about? I'll tell you a little story. The Bonkers show, that was quite literally started because of a joke. My co-host Christopher and I, we used to run with a company that was allegedly trying to legitimize paranormal research. That's how we met. I say allegedly trying because we quickly learned that some rather nefarious stuff was going on behind the scenes. The CEO of the operation ended up going to prison, and needless to say, for some rather serious criminal offenses. Needless to say, it was something that Chris and I took to heart personally, because what this individual had done has personally affected loved ones of our own. And we didn't necessarily feel comfortable with the fact that those who were left in charge, they wanted to suppress it as much as possible, even get to the point where they started to harass anybody who they felt was talking about it. So, Chris and I started to defect. We played whistleblower. Then we played whistleblower, leaked out the information because the court case made it to a newspaper. And the main reason we found out about it was because an individual who happened to live close to the former CEO brought it to our attention, felt that it was need to know information. And the only reason she knew about it was because, like I said, she just happened to live in the same area. This was an international operation. They really thought something like that that was going to stay hidden. So Chris and I, we did 2 shows a week talking about various subjects. One focused on ghost hunting, another cryptids, UFOs. The other focused mainly on the UFO topic. And our dynamic worked out pretty well. So slowly, we started to defect. The name Bald and Bonkers, here's the part where the joke comes in, came from a random post I did using that Reface app. An app on your phone you can get to where you can take your face and put it into like movie scenes and stuff like that. There was one for a kind of a space age music video, I think it was. I was trying to recreate it, but oh well. It's still out there. And I needed something catchy to try to help promote the fact that Chris and I were going on. Now, we were both bald guys, and we needed a little something that reflected that we weren't afraid to throw in a little comedy every now and then. So alliteration tends to help stick when it comes to come up with something for the mind. So that's where the phrase bald and bonkers was born. Our logo, I'm going to bring up the slideshow here, came from a combination of 2 things. One, Chris decided to start using the image of Metatron's cube to promote his stuff that he had on the side, while I integrated a design that I was using for myself, which I am trying to get uploaded as we speak, so you all can see what I'm talking about. Basically, I put together something that combined aspects of both who we were, right? This wasn't the exact design that I was running with at the time, but it is derived from it. It's currently uploading right now. So while we're waiting on that, we're going to go to some ideas. I'm going to show you a little trick that may help you see right there. This logo that's at the top right-hand corner of this video, that's the logo. So combine that with Metatron's cube, the font, that's how that came about. So if you're the type that's not very good with coming up with like creative names or stuff like that, guess what? There are ways to kind of cheat, if you will. And I'm actually going to show you one. So what we're going to do is we're going to head over to ChatGPT. I'm going to hide this for a minute. We're going to bring up ChatGPT real quick. And as you can see, I've already had a chat with it just to sound off. For this idea, I asked ChatGPT to suggest some catchy podcast titles for a show about movies. These are some of the things it came up with. Cinephiles Unleashed, Flick Fixers, The Real Deal, Cinema Chronicles, Screen Time Stories. Even says right here, feel free to mix and match words or add your own personal touch to these suggestions to create a unique title that aligns with the theme and style of your podcast. So here, let's try another one. Can you suggest a title for a podcast that... we'll go back. A web show that teaches people how to create their own web show on a budget. We'll add catchy here because we want it to stick in the brain, you know? See what it comes up with. Web Show 101 Budget Edition. That's all I can come up with? All right. Say you want to do a... All right, let's try a little something else. And you suggest catchy titles for a podcast discussing conspiracy theories. See what it comes up with. I'll let you look at that. The X-Files podcast. I will say with this, it's high. ChatGPT, while it can be an interesting tool to utilize, make sure you do a little extra research just to make sure you don't accidentally copy somebody else. Because apparently ChatGPT has been bad about that, but there's other programs that help with plagiarism prevention. Ugh. Like I said, only use ChatGPT as a soundboard to get ideas. Okay. Your audience will connect better if the podcast, if the show, if the hosts feel genuine. You don't want to, sit there and watch a show where they're just talking like this. Yeah, no. Don't be afraid to show some personality. Any guests that you decide to have on will also feel more comfortable and be willing to work with you in the future. Again, if you show that you are genuine. We're going to talk more about a little tip to help land you some guests. There's certain things I want to show you on this course before we get to start scheduling guests. How do you approach these guests? I'm going to show you a little template that's worked out very well for me in order to actually land some relatively high profile guests that have brought in an audience. But obviously, before you do that, you need to establish your presence. You want to have interesting logos, banners for social media. There's a few different websites that you can utilize in order to do that. One popular one is called Canva. We're going to bring this back up here. In a momento, if my dumbass would actually click on the right crap. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to screen share. See, Canva is a well-known one that is fairly popular because you can use it for free. Yes, there are some pro aspects of it, but it's a good place to start if you don't have a lot of a budget. See here, there's video designs. There's a social media. Even has little templates for wherever you plan to post these messages. Even can help you design websites. It's a very useful tool. Another one that's pretty popular to use, Render Forest. There is a bit of a subscription fee on this one. There is a free option, yes. But it's very limited on what to use. But we'll go ahead and go through some of it right now. This is actually how I made certain intros for the show over the years. See, say we'll click on footage-based logo reveals. See, we're gonna bring up one real quick, and as we go through further into this podcast, we're gonna go ahead and create a brand new intro for the class, just so you can see just how easy it is, as well as see the different types of options you have available. Naturally, you do not have to utilize these resources. These are just different ones that are available to you to take into consideration. And like I've done with previous lessons, the next section of this course will offer up alternative links for you to go check out. So let's go head over to Streamlabs. Like I said, we're going to focus on Streamlabs because it offers so many different avenues, different resources in one location if you decide to go for their Ultra subscription. So see, we got an intro maker right here, and it brings up some templates that we can utilize. See if we got one school. Is it going to let me look it up? No. All right, let's go back. Let's go back to the intro maker. If you want to set up different themes for your stream, that's okay too. Again, this is for you to play around with and see what works best for you. So we're going to go ahead and go through a couple of the options here. F-Night, that's probably a Fortnite reference. Bunch of wieners flying in the air. That is not this type. That is not what kind of show this is. My God. Let's see. One based on Super Mario. That's awesome. Okay, let's use this one. And just go ahead and create a video. Yeah, brand new intro video for the class, and you'll see it pop up on the next video lesson. So okay. See, it has a different theme background you can use, different song. Let's see, there's some stock available. Here, let's see. Upload stock footage. Oh, come on. Anyway, so we have a couple different options that we have set up already. Here's an attempt at a logo. Oh, I don't like how that's looking. So, is there a stock option on there? No. Let's refresh. Oh, come on. Okay, let's go to this one. This one looks a little better for what we got going on here. Customize. No? You're not going to let me do it? Why are you misbehaving? Of course, right as I go to show you guys, it starts misbehaving. Streamlabs. Yes. Intro maker. Start creating. I fish to create. Customize. Why does it look so different? Probably because it doesn't think we're logged in. Boy. Okay, so apparently not. I'm going to show how to make an intro. Let's go to Render Forest. All right, so let's see. We'll look up school. TV's intro, blah, 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 blah. Oh, look at that. They got a podcast opener. Different versions are also available if you want to have a little something to play with. Like I said, you don't have to follow through on this. Network Academy. That's nice. Also, I spelled maximize right, huh? Use your podcast for little to no cost. All the secrets to help you shine without wasting a dime. See, you can just come up with something on the spot there. We already have the Baldwin Bonkers logo uploaded, so we're gonna put that in there. Increase the size so it fits the template. Welcome to class. Here's your instructor. Next time you for the next class, you should be able to see this play as the intro. There's a little going for a different style. We'll just go ahead and keep the font like that. With a lot of these programs, it'll have music already selected for you, but you don't have to necessarily go for it. I'm going to show you some resources where you can get royalty-free music that does not involve you wasting a lot of money. Some of them are going to be subscription-based, but they're well worth it, trust me. So let's see what... All right. That's cool. Now let's create a preview real quick while that renders. We're going to go over here and head back to the slideshow real quick. There we go. When it comes to logos, there's a lot of other resources you can use. Canva, Render Forest, Streamlabs. If you have a little bit of Photoshop experiences but don't necessarily want to pay for Photoshop, if you don't already have it, you can use a program I've always used called GIMP. It has a lot of the same tools as Photoshop, but obviously it doesn't cost anything. When you go to make your social media banners, your logos, one thing you want to keep in mind is try to make it as universally applicable as possible. So that way you're not having to adjust anything in order to post it to Facebook, to TikTok, to Instagram Reels, wherever you plan on going. Plus, if you have decide to have on guests, depending on what you decide your program's going to be about, taking a little time to customize it to fit their style will help you go a long way. Plus, a well done intro and outro will help catch your audience's attention. Where do you get it? Like I showed you, Render Forest. The free preview is about halfway there, so I'll show you guys how it turned out here in a second. Like I mentioned before, it's a good idea to keep a similar aesthetic across all platforms. If you decide to decorate it for like holidays or Pride Month, whatever you decide to do, that's your call to make. Oh, look, the video's ready. I'm going to switch over. Blow that up real quick. All right. I like how that turned out. So, being that that's the case, we're going to go ahead and tell it to do a 180 pixel, basically a high def render, so that way we can use it for our next class, for our next session. We'll head back over here. Like I said, if you don't like any of the stock options for music, there's several different options out there for you to look at. One I really like is called Artlist. You may have seen the ads for this on like Facebook and stuff. Yes, there is an annual subscription for it, but it's well worth it, man. It's well worth it. In fact, they have a new Max upgrade that helps you get stock footage, templates for After Effects, sound effects. There's even different apps you can utilize, and the license does not end. For the link for Artlist that will be in the next section of this course is a referral link. Don't worry. When we try to do these referral links, there's going to be a little something for you in it as well. So we're going to go ahead and switch over to Artlist real quick. I'm going to pick a song. And so we go music. And as you saw, there's a little bit of the option for you to go into our referral program. We're going to cover that in this course as well. Let's see. What we got? It's this one. I hope you guys can do that a little bit. The basic thing with Artlist is that it has different filters that you can apply to your searches, so that way you can find something that's a little bit more fitting to whatever project you may be working on. So let's see here. Let's expand this screen. Hopefully that'll help it. There we go. Come on. It's misbehaving. I'm sorry. See, we got mood. Let's go for something sexy. Ooh. And and a little exciting, right? You can even pick vocals if someone's singing in it. So let's see what we have available here. See? It looks amazing. And it looks like the high def version of the new intro's ready. Now, before we move on to the next little section, let's go ahead and make up a little logo. For this, we'll utilize RenderForce real quick. We'll make up a new logo for the class because what I've made so far is not working well. Bald and Bonkers. Oh, too many. Network. Bald and Bonkers. We'll just call it Bald and Bonkers Academy. Doesn't look like I spelled that right? Anyway. It also has an AI name generator. There's a couple other websites that offer that as well. Use that to your discretion. I want a logo for a teachable course that offers a course on podcasting for low cost. I'm gonna go next. For the fun of it, let's make the AI do the work for us. Let's face it, it's gonna be all over. So here's a couple of the options that it's come out with. It's just showing us a couple little mock-ups. I'm not really liking it. Oh, Illuminati. Don't like that. That's too call center-y. Let's go with that one. Simple enough. It's had to customize. Blah, 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 blah. Network. Really? It's not going to let us. Align. Center alignments. And boom shakalaka. I like it. Network. I can't type with shit. And we're just going to go here. And voila. Once you're happy with the quality, you can go ahead and hit download. And that's that. Why is it only saying 3 minutes? Hold on. We may have some technical difficulties here. Once the logo is downloaded, you can feel free to use it however you please. I just noticed a little hitch real quick. Doesn't look like it's affecting it. I'm going to pop into it real quick just to make sure. All right. Sorry about that. Streamlabs is acting a little weird. It says it's only been recording for like 4 minutes. But everywhere else, but the video is actually showing that it's been recording for the full almost 30 minutes now. But anyway, back to what we're going. If you decide to go for stock footage, this is a good opportunity. There's going to be a list in the next section of this course of different places you can find some royalty-free stock footage and music that should not get you flagged for copyright. I'm saying that now because sometimes, say if I take a intro that I made in RenderForce and were to upload it to TikTok, something about TikTok flags it. It's a pain in the ass. As you can see, art list is something I mentioned here because it features real musicians. Kevin MacLeod, you've probably seen quite a few times. He's been out there, one of the longest out there. He's a popular musician known for his royalty-free projects. He doesn't charge anything for them. All he asks is that you give a little extra credit, which is only fair, right? If someone uses your work, you just want to be given the appropriate credit for what you contributed to, right? Now, if you decide to actually do an audio version of your pop show content, whatever it may be, something you want to take into consideration, if you decide to utilize, say, like Streamlabs to record your shows so that way you can easily get guests in without having to have them download anything new to their devices, or this sort of platform, I like it because it's simple enough for even the technologically illiterate elderly people who usually require on their grandkids that operate a computer. It's simple enough for them to be able to utilize on their own without having to ask for a lot of help. That's why I recommend it. You don't have to if you don't want to. But if you decide to use this format to where you record the video, then take the audio and put it out as a podcast, it would be a very good idea that if you intend to show any pictures or video content or anything like that, that you describe to the audience what you're seeing. If you decide to go for a live chat as well, you're going to want to read out those messages aloud. A good rule of thumb is describe it like you would if you were talking to a deaf person. If you want to include, if not for your intros, it's probably best you put in some sort of voiceover. You can record it yourself if you want, or you can use a website like 11 Labs for like a text-to-speech option. You probably heard about this across social media because of how powerful the software is at replicating certain voices. See, I have it here. There's a sample of Neil Armstrong. We're going to go ahead and bring up. Okay, this one is a combination of Sam Elliott's and Nicolas Cage, where they were in the movie Ghost Rider. This one is actually my voice cloned. Neil Armstrong. I don't know why it turned out weird like that. Let's see, is Chris in here? Yep. If you have a particularly thick accent, say if you're from Scotland, the clone may not work out so well. Listen to an episode of Bonkers show to hear Chris talk. It actually clears it up to where you can understand them. It also has an option for you to create different voices. Does have a paid subscription, but it is powerful, clearly. A lot of people were using this for kind of nefarious purposes, but just goes to show how powerful AI is starting to get. Now, obviously, you're going to need something to help promote where you go. And as annoying as it may be, as drama-filled as with much drama that never seems to end, you're probably going to need to set something up on social media. Like I showed in a previous video, with Streamlabs, you can connect to Facebook pages, Facebook profiles, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch. It's also a pretty good idea to have Pinterest and TikTok accounts to help promote your material. More often than not, you will want to cross-post. Streamlabs offers up a really interesting tool called Cross-Clip. We're going to go ahead and show you it real quick. So if you want to repurpose any videos for like TikTok and things like that, you can easily do so. But we're actually going to show you how the process looks. We're just going to go ahead and head to one of my YouTube channels. Head over to videos. Nah, let's not. Let's head to one of the lives. Let's use some Red Dead Redemption. Right. So we go over to Streamlabs, cross clip. We post the link there. We get the clip. Might take a minute. We pick a section that we want. We are lagging a little bit, but that's just because of everything. Now we tell it to import the clip. May take up to 60 seconds. It works relatively fast when you think about it. And what it will do is it'll put the clip into a format that you can utilize on Instagram Reels, TikTok, basically repurpose it so that way you can still promote your show without having to do anything too special. It might be a little intimidated when it comes to putting that together. So it may be a good idea to invest in a social media management software. My personal favorite, it's called Hero Post. And if you look here, I am not joking. There is a $200 lifetime subscription. Okay. Does it sound a little steep? Yes. But if you take into consideration that most of these services can run you thousands of dollars, it's one hell of a deal. So we're going to switch over to the web browser real quick, see what I mean. With the lifetime subscription, it gives you the full access to everything it offers. There's a link in bio function to it. Let's see here. Let's take a look at the pricing. We'll just show you real quick. Lifetime Hero Post Unlimited, access to everything it offers. I'll tell you a little secret. Don't worry about this timer. It's there to trick you. But this does also offer up a lot of the information on what it offers. See, you can link it up to Instagram, Facebook, your YouTube accounts. TikTok is coming soon. I actually did not know this. You can schedule out messages. You can upload files. You can put watermarks. You can even set up a situation, set up something where you can control accounts for different people. Reddit, LinkedIn, you can create captions. It's an awesome tool. I use it. Speeds up the process several times. It can take hours to go across all platforms. And look, all right, we have our clip ready. So it'll usually bring up a format like this in cross clip. You can just go ahead and make that bigger. We're going to delete one of these segments and we want to adjust the format to landscape. So that way it fits better, shows the entirety of the video. This is what it's seeing on the input. This is the video it's going to create. Just drag that up here. We're going to hit compile. Red Dead photo side mission. Start compilation. It will recommend if you want to put it on your TikTok or anything like that, you can get the Cross Clip mobile app. It'll make it very easy to share. Or you'll just be able to download it directly once it's done on the computer. Don't show again because I already know about it and have it downloaded on my phone. So I'm going to show you just the access that Hero Post offers. I can show you inside my side of the studio while we're going about this. See, it offers analytics, shows you how many didn't go through, shows you how many did go through. Hit publish all. Give it a sec for it to load. It even offers up a chance to, gives you the option to look up stock photos so you can post it across all platforms. So we're just going to type in class. And let's use this one. Coming soon from Bald and Bonkers, a class to teach you how to maximize your podcast potential. This is a demonstration for the class. LOL. Don't be afraid to have a little fun every now and then. Over here, all of our accounts are linked up. There's Tumblr. There's a Telegram channel set up. There's Instagram, Facebook. We have Post Now. Now, I'm just showing you this live so you can see what I mean. And so it helps you make an educated decision. And look, our Red Dead video is ready. We'll go ahead and hit download on that. That's probably a notification on my phone. Note to self. See, 2 profiles unpublished. For some reason, a couple of the Bald and Bonkers groups don't like Hero Posts, but that's okay. It happens. We're going to close that out. We're going to create a new video. Latest Red Dead 2 playthrough. And for this one, we're going to kick it off of the Telegram channel. You're going to want to go into upload. Wherever your system saves the file. I should really clear out some of my files. It'll upload here. And while we're waiting on that, we'll move on in the lecture. The link in bio option, for those of you who've utilized services like TikTok or Instagram, know that you can only put one link to try to show off the rest of your material. Anything that offers a link in bio, there's going to be a list of resources on the next section of this course for different services that allow you to create those links so you can link up any official websites you may have, social media profiles. You can even use PayPal donate buttons, things like that. Is there any use to being exposed like this? Yes, there is. As the saying goes, all publicity is good publicity. Now, you may have heard horror stories about trolls. Okay? I'm going to tell you this, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart. No matter what you do, you will attract trolls. And sometimes they may try to get vicious. You need to be prepared for that. It's not right that they do this. You shouldn't have to deal with it, but unfortunately, it is something everybody has to take on when they actually start making moves. Because some people are just dedicated to be assholes. There is ways to take away their power. Number one. Sometimes these trolls can be some of your best critics. And what I mean by that is they'll actually point out they'll, in their efforts to try to make you feel like shit, they will actually point out ways that you could improve. It is best to try not to let this negative attention affect your mental health. And if you got to take a break every now and then, that is your call to make. People do not owe you do not owe an explanation. We're going to jump back to Hero Post real quick, seeing as the Red Dead video is ready to go. We're going to hit post. See if it'll give you a warning saying that if any of profiles that do not support it, we're just going to go ahead and hit yes, I'm sure. I fully expected that to happen. Bada bing, bada boom. Good to go. But going back to social media, even when you go to post little videos like that, different platforms are going to have different types of trolls, I've noticed. And unfortunately, you're going to have to develop a little bit of a thick skin. But you can take their power away by acknowledging it. I'll give you a recent example. There's one group that has been bringing my name up because I was featured on a certain channel. And they tried to critique what I was saying because I tend to be all over the place. I know that's the truth. It's something I'm working on. And I put out a public statement saying, yeah, I saw those remarks. And you know what? I'm right. You're right. I tend to be all over the place. And I'm working on ways to try to organize myself better. It's simple as that. State your piece and go about it. Don't let yourself get absorbed into the drama. If you get to the point where you have to stand up and defend yourself, state your piece and move on. Don't feed into it. Don't let others in your circle feed into it. There's a saying out there, show me your 5 closest friends, I will show you your future. If you surround yourself with people that are just constantly negative, talking smack, looking for excuses to bitch, that's eventually going to bleed into you. And you're going to start following those patterns. That's not exactly a healthy approach now, is it? Be careful who you surround yourself with. And sometimes it'll be hard. You surround yourself with people that are looking to make their dreams happen. Sometimes they're not going to be able to hang out a lot. Why do you think they say sociopaths are some of the most successful serial killers and CEOs? Because they don't really have much of a receptacle for human interaction. They don't necessarily care for it. They just don't. It just doesn't click in their mind for them. So they're able to move on and create. Going back to social media, you're going to want to try to look for any forums that will let you promote your channels, subreddits, anything like that. Now, if you decide to create a certain type of content post where you develop it into like an official show, like I did with the Bonkers show, something not a lot of people know is that because of all the different streaming platforms like Netflix, Disney Plus, Hulu, all those, IMDb opened up their criteria for what type of shows are submitted. And that includes web shows and podcasts. And I'll actually show you how to get your show, hopefully by the next lesson, on IMDb. Because with that offers free marketing. IMDb is owned by Amazon. Amazon's one of the biggest companies in the world right now. That's free marketing on social media engines. And something else you want to point out to trolls. The ones who try to stalk your pages are only helping your numbers grow. Think about that. You want to put them down? Mention that. Just like, hey, you do realize by you constantly obsessing over me, you're helping my numbers grow. And the more you do that, it'll actually, the algorithms behind all these different platforms, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, all of them, they will suggest more of my content and others like me. So by constantly harassing me, trying to be so obsessive with me because for some reason you decided to not like me, you're only hurting yourself. Are you really okay? Are you seriously okay? And if you want to be a little bit of extra smart aleck, say you like to go for a comedy approach and people get bothered by that. Here's something you can use against people, the trolls. Say, you do realize that the science goes to show that funny people are quicker to die due to depression-related incidents, right? You want to know whose image often gets circulated with those articles? Robin Williams. So instead of judging people because they like to be funny, how about checking in on them, asking them if they're doing okay? Instead of just purposely being heartless. Because you're not making yourself look good. And chances are, and here's another little tidbit. Ignore everyone who doesn't show their face. Any social media accounts that don't show their face, don't have a profile picture that shows them, just ignore them. Clearly, they know that they are nothing. This is going to sound mean. They know that they are not accepted. They clearly have issues of their own. And will try to take you on for no reason. Ignore the faceless profiles. And you'll find yourself in a much better place. But again, you want to take them down a notch? Remind them that their obsession over you only helps your numbers grow. So, how else do you want to expand your reach? If you decide to do like what I do, share your podcast out to, say, like your web show out to a podcast like platform. There's a few different spots you can do it at. Oh, I accidentally I did not mean to shut that down. I am so sorry. Oh my God. Bring it up, please. Thank you. If you decide to do an audio-based podcast, you can look for services like Red Circle, Acast, Spotify for podcasters. Those are completely free to use. Spotify for podcasters actually added a video support option. So people can actually watch the videos, but if they're, say, listening while driving around, they won't. It'll just play the audio, so they're not risking, messing on their phone and getting into an accident. All these services actually offer ways to syndicate your content. So if you want to get your stuff on iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, iTunes, Apple Music, Google, Samsung Music, you can do it through these. Liberated syndication is another good one because it also has an option to automatically take the audio you upload to it, then create a video from it. In an upcoming lesson, I'm actually going to utilize liberated syndication to show you a trick to get around some of their subscription prices. So hopefully that does not kill the ability to do so. So utilize it before they catch on. Ah! My screen just went funky. And last but not least, even if you decide to utilize one of those link in bios, it'll be a good idea to list your links in the video description, in the descriptions of whatever shows you decide to use. So we're going to bring up one of our latest transmissions just to show you what I mean. This was a news broadcast I did to kind of give updates, and it's also the same broadcast I did to basically shoot down some of the haters. Now, if you look through here, you'll see all these different links. There's a couple donation options through PayPal, or Venmo. I'm going to show you different ways you can also monetize your shows so you can earn a little extra money, plus, offer up some merch for any fans who decide that, you're real cool and want to get some. You can also set yourself up on Patreon and set yourself up with your own website. I'm going to show you ways to get you access to those features as well in the next sections of this course. What this does, it'll actually help your search engine optimization, and the more these links pop up across all these different platforms I'm recommending, the more popular the algorithm is going to think they are. So the higher on the search engine results they are going to appear without having to pay a single thing. We're going to go ahead and go over to Google real quick and show you what I mean. I'm going to look up bald and bonkers. Obviously, I've looked it up before. Let's see, check it out. See, right here, bald and bonkers, IMDb. It shows some of the cast members as well as all the other channels we've ended up on. We also had things on like Amazon. We have obviously TikTok, Etsy. We got some playing cards, Spotify. We're all over the place. We even have some press releases that have been out there. You can see, we go check out Google Images just for the fun of it. See? Look at that. We're doing pretty well for all this, eh? But like I said, if you follow the tips in this course, you'll be able to do just fine. Coming up in the next section of the course, you'll be able to start this process. And that's all we have for today. My name is Dakota Franson. I'll see you in the next section of this class. The useful stuff's coming. Just trust me.